assassinations, target against political enemies of the ruling authority. Shit. And that's what we move into. See, the clips that I played before the computer started acting weird was talking about that Edomite or that older man was making comparisons between George Bush reign or his administration, all right, and then Obama's. He said that under Bush, they would take the people, basically kidnap them, and torture them at these detention centers, all right. But they won't go so far as all the time kill people. And under the Obama uh, administration, they have the authority to assassinate people. Now, when we said this on the street a couple months back, people thought we was crazy, but it's in effect now. They can do this. You know, you simple ass people, you could be stepping out your door one morning and get your brains splattered all over the patio, all right, on your freshly glazed up patio, okay? Yeah, it'll be waterproof then, all right? Yeah, so that's what we in now, all right? But the mass majority of you damn sheeple, you simple ass people out there, mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when we tell you such things, you don't believe it, all right? And they can do that. They can come, kidnap you, interrogate you, torture you, exile you from the country, forced disappearance, all right, and assassinate you. All right, secret police forces are accountable only to the executive branch of the government, sometimes only to a dictator. They operate entirely or partially in secrecy. That is, most or all of their operations are obscured and hidden from the general public, and government expect for the topmost executive office. Says this semi-office capture allows the secret police to bolster the government's control over their citizens, while also allowing the government to deny prior knowledge of any violation of civil liberties. So basically, with him signing in this police state, they have what is called a secret police, which is really a military, and they could just come and take you, and then like say if you came up missing due by kidnapping, or you die or forced disappearance, or they assassinate you, or they take you to one of these camps and put you to death, they could say they didn't even know. I didn't know, play that like they stupid, but they know who they want. Okay, secret police agencies have often been used as an instrument of political repression. Okay, states where the secret police wired significant power are sometimes referred to as a police state. Police states, all right. Okay, secret police different from domestic security agencies monitoring democracy because, all right. So yeah, like I said, the secret police, which is your military, which is basically they come and take people, alright, or they can assassinate people. It's usually they allowed to exercise that power in police states. Alright? So a police state is one in which the government exercises rigor or repressive controls over the social, economic, and political life of the population. Alright? Now socially, alright, they are repressing people. Alright, they're taking away their ability to speak. Alright, freedom of speech. Alright, and you see that with them protesters out there, because they don't put us up on there, the Israelites. Alright, they won't put GMS up out there because we'll cut too many people. It will just destroy people's. Okay, so what they have these Occupy movements or whatever. Alright, and that's all geared up for them. It's basically to to bring in legislation like this, alright, which is really geared to come after the Israelites, okay, and economic, okay, because whenever the economy crash, which they made mention of that in the video, when the economy crash, they're gonna bring in the RFID chip, alright, which will be the new currency, which is the mark of the beast, and if you take it, you will be put to death by missile fire, okay, and political life, alright, and in a police state, the president, he becomes like a dictator, alright, or totalitarianism, alright, where's that, before I get more into the article, there we go, totalitarianism, alright, or totalitarian rule is a political system where the state recognizes no limits to its authority and strives to regulate every aspect of public and private life wherever for feasible. I think that's how you say it. Totalitarian regimes stay in political power through all encompassing propaganda campaign, which is disseminated through the state-controlled mass media, a single party that is often marked by political repression, a personality cultism, control over the economy, regulation, and restrictions of speech, surveillance, and a widespread use of terror. Alright? Now, with him passing that act, and then when they start moving on people, because that time is coming, that's the time we in, alright, it's going to spark terror amongst people, that they're not going to be, willing to speak out or to voice their opinion. They're going to get cut off if they do, okay? And that's part of what this National Defense Authorization Act, these are the type of powers that the president, alright, has when martial law is implemented, or when we go into a full-fledged police state, alright, okay, and it says a code of personality, and the one key word they said he was a charismatic figure, alright, and this is what a cult of personality arises when an individual uses mass media, propaganda, and other methods to create an idealistic and heroic public image, often through unquestioning flattery and praise. Cults of personality are usually associated with dictators. Alright? Sociologist Max Weber developed a tripartite classification of authority. The code of personality holds parallels with what Webster defined as a charismatic authority. A code of personality is similar to a hero worship, except that it is established by mass media and propaganda. And Obama's a perfect example of that, because who knew about this guy, like several years back? Nobody didn't know about Obama. He just emerged. Alright? So he was set up, basically. That's why we say he's set up to deceive who? Basically, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because even though, if you look at the facts, alright, and the things that he has passed in his his administration, is all geared towards oppressing you even more, okay? But 2/3, they're blinded by this simple. This dude, he ain't even our people, but they blinded by him. Alright, so let me read the article. Obama signs U.S. into police state. Okay, it says a political analyst says under the provisions of the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, signed into law by Barack Obama, Americans opposed to U.S. policies will be arrested as suspected terrorists. Okay? So if you oppose anything that is said, or the laws that are being passed by the government, they will deem you a terrorist and put you in one of these detention centers, alright, or what they call, let me get that, what they call it, black sites. Yeah, black sites. In military terminology, a black site is a location at which an unacknowledged black project is conducted. Recently, the term has gained notorious in describing special prisons operated by the United States. Okay? Alright? Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, generally outside of the U.S. territory and legal whatever that is. It can refer to the factions that are controlled by the CIA, used by the U.S. government in its war on terror to detain alleged unlawful enemy combatants, which is what it'll be the people here in America. Okay. Oh, excuse me. All right. Meaning they'll detain you and put your ass in one of them concentration camps. Okay. All right. And here's the list of the people, alright, that they deem as suspected terrorists, alright, under a project called Project Megiddo. Okay, it says Project Megiddo contains of an FBI analyst with a report released on October 20th, 1999. The report warns against the potential for extreme criminal activity in the United States by individuals or domestic groups who attach special significance to the year 2000. Alright, it analyzed focus on apocalyptic religious groups, doomsday cults, and New World Order conspiracy theories. Alright, the report discussed the potential for violence in groups that it is called biblically driven cults. The report then went on to warn that less time spent on Bible study and more time spent on physical training indicates that the cult may be prepared for some type of action. Groups signed out and analyzing the report under the heading of apocalyptic cults include the Branch Davidson, Davidans, and the Concordant Christians. Alright, you so-called Christians, y'all gonna be y'all deemed as terrorists under the Project Megiddo. Okay, the International Terrorist Odd and Ick agency accused the FBI of violating the First Amendment rights to freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and peaceful assembly. The reason given for this accusation was the propagation of numerous false statements and new, whatever that word is, right? Alright, so a lot of people is listed under that Project Megiddo. Project Megiddo was reported, researched, and written by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and under the Director Louis Fritz. Released on October 20, 1999, the report names followers of white supremacy, Christian identity, militant movements, black Hebrew Israelites, and apocalyptic cults as potential terrorists who might become violent in reaction to the new millennium. Okay, so the Hebrew Israelites, alright, or you which it ain't black, it's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You make up the Israelites, alright, the true Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, but they're targeting, alright, us, okay, us, and people that's white supremacists, and you so-called Christians, Okay, you simple ass